there is always different interpretation of the new norm. My understanding is that mostly in three aspects. Firstly, slow down the economy a little bit that allows the government to put more resources into environment, social security, and rural development. Secondly, slow down the economy, allow the government focus more on structural reform because structural reform is costly. It takes time and it touches the interest, not just for the big state-owned enterprises, but also related to the local government. So it needs great effort, determination to change the structure externally and largely internally.
Right.
The third aspect is try slow down the economy, try to make the market, let the market play its major role. In Chinese case, allow the market to play those decisive roles and restrict government, partly through anti-corruption campaign.
Okay. So my question is, how are these resources getting reallocated and in what areas?
Well, for instance,
or rather, let me rephrase that. I think the question is, how quickly are these resources getting reallocated, and are you seeing the sort of shift in direction already?
Yeah, a good example is that the government say the environment, particularly the air pollution, in mega cities like Beijing and in the northeast area particular. And Chinese government put extreme resources to integrate three related provincial level government include Beijing and Tianjin, to put resources together, not independently, but together, coordinately, try to use clean energy, try to invest more environment system, ecosystem, to mitigate those environment problems. And also the government through national budget transfer to support the rural development.
So, rural development was the third one that you mentioned. So, what are the kind of resources that are being transferred? I mean, between rural development, social security, and environment. And what is how is it sort of changing the fiscal situation?
Well, traditionally, Chinese government play very positive, very strong role to pump the money into the manufacturing sector. That money can be taken out from the system and then back to the social security, to the rural development, to the environment, to the social security system.
Right. But would you have a number? I'm saying, for instance, how many hundreds of billions of dollars could be actually moving in coming years, or has already begun moving?
Well, that process began 3 years ago. I haven't got exactly the number, but it might be a percentage, like 3 or 5% of resources.
Of GDP?
Or of the budget.
Of government, okay, government expenditure.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you were to look ahead now, as sort of China goes into a new normal and growth slows down, what are the other, what is the outcome of this going to be? I mean, is there going to be any other side effects, for instance?
Well, the initiative might be fully integrated into next 5 years economic and social plan, that is 13th 5 years plan. This year is the last year for the 20th 5 years plan. Now the government try to make the master plan, the national strategy to integrate various issues into the long-term plan that will push the economy from the old model to the new model in next 5 years or next 10 years.
So, can you tell us one or two areas where you are focusing on, for instance, when it comes to developing the new master plan?
Right.
And how could that sort of change the structure or the nature of the economy?
Well, in China, the 5 years plan is some sort of national strategy that designed or drafted from bottom to top and then from top to bottom. So several rounds. There is a vast input of the resources, human capital from different ministries, from different level of the government. Next year, roughly in the May, that plan have to be passed by the Congress. That might be a guideline for the national government, also for the provincial government, municipal government to follow the approach. Even for the provincial government, municipal government, they have to make their own plan with those national guidelines.
Right. And so, just to come back to the first point, the new normal, is this a new normal? Is it likely to be like, there for many years, or is it a short-term strategy?
I would say it's a long-term strategy. It's a natural result from the previous 3 decades fast development that largely focused on economic sector. Now we have to diverse resources to make a balanced growth, focus on environment, social issues, and other development issues.
Right, Mr. Wang Haifeng, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay.